Truck drivers, owner-operators, and fleet owners in Canada, lock in. This isn't a scroll past video. This one matters. Right now, labor affairs officers are working overtime, launching inspections across the industry. Some carriers have already gotten letters. They are asking for a complete list of drivers, classifying them properly as payroll drivers, subcontractors, and owner-operators. They want it printed and they want it done before the inspection happens. So if you're working under the driver Inc., or if you're an owner-operator driving for a company that classifies drivers that way, stay here because this is going to affect you. So first of all, what is driver Inc.? Well, it's when the trucking companies call drivers independent contractors or owner-operators, but they actually run like they're employees. So the company controls the loads you take, your rate of pay, your schedule, it's their rules, and the miles are provided to you by the company. So what do? They avoid paying CPP, EU, EI, benefits, overtime pay, vacation pay, payroll taxes. On paper, it looks like you're a contractor, but in reality, it's misclassifying your employment, and the government is done with it. So why is the government cracking down on this? This crackdown is happening for two big reasons. Number one, money. Billions of dollars being lost every year. Companies dodge CPP, EU and EI payments, and payroll remittances. This adds up fast. Canada's budgets are tight, and the government is going after places where they can recover massive losses caused by the system abuse. The second biggest reason is because of fairness in the freight market. Legitimate, compliant carriers, it's getting harder and harder for them to compete, and they are screaming louder than ever because it's getting nearly impossible to compete. Why? Because the driver Inc. companies have a 25 to 35 cent advantage over those payroll drivers. So when bids go out for freight contract, the compliant carriers get outbid, outpriced, outnegotiated because the misclassification companies can bid cheaper and still win. So no, this isn't about stopping trucking, it's about stopping abuse, recovering billions, and making the market fair again. This isn't the first time the Driver Inc. is making noise, but this time it's different. Before, they were giving out warnings, they were giving slaps on the wrists, small audits, and they were educating the public. What's different now? Well, inspections are happening. There are real fines, real penalties, and real enforcements. Budgets and its government departments working together. They are done educating. Now they're enforcing. So if you thought it was just talk before, nah. It's action time now. So the consequences. I talked to hundreds of carriers and thousands of drivers across Canada. And if I'm being honest, most of them will tell you this model felt like it benefits both sides. But when I hear that people say that it's the companies forcing the drivers, I actually don't agree with that. It's both the drivers that want to work on the system and it's the companies that are benefiting from it. Because to the drivers, the corporation route actually looks like a smarter move than payroll deductions. So here's an example. A driver that is grossing $100,000, they get to avoid a lot of payroll deductions. So $100,000 gross earnings in a corporation will actually leave the driver with only $25,000 net earnings. And this looks great for the driver because he only pays CPP, EU, and EI on $25,000 instead of the full $100,000. Just because it feels great to win, it doesn't mean it is. Remember, it's illegal. It's not safe or sustainable long term. CRA doesn't judge feelings, they judge facts. If your situation gets reviewed, they can say that you are actually an employee, not a contractor. Now, if that happens as a driver, you can owe back taxes, income tax, CPP, maybe even EI. You can lose the ability to claim the business write-offs. You can get asked to prove expenses. And if you have no proof, you owe more. And carriers may cut drivers off fast to avoid attention. Now, the carriers and companies that built this model, they get hit the hardest. All unpaid payroll and remittances are going to be forced to be paid. CPP and EI, they're big fines. And CRA can also audit past years. And the biggest red flag is the single drivers producing 3,600 to 4,500 miles in a single week. Anything that doesn't match one real human driving legally. That looks like falsified logs, the CRA treats as proof of system abuse. Now, this isn't about drivers being criminals. This is about companies building a system to cut costs, win bids, and shift the risk onto you. So what can you do before they come knocking? Well, you really only have 3 options. Number 1, you go on payroll. Number 2, you become a real owner-operator. If you want to be self-employed, it has to be real. You're going to control the truck. You're going to decide where to fill up. You choose the routes you take. You manage your own maintenance. And you keep your receipts and expenses, and you do your taxes honest. So you're not just an owner-operator in name, you're an owner-operator in operation. Or option number 3, you enter a lease purchase program. Some drivers take this route to be owner-operators. But listen carefully. There are a lot of predatory lease agreements out there, especially in Canada right now and also in the US. Predatory means the company wins and you lose. Now, if you're gonna take anything away from this video, there's 2 things that you should never do. If you have good credit and you have enough for a down payment, you should never sign on to a lease purchase program. Instead, you should be financing your own truck. And if you need help financing that truck, you can click a link below. It's a form that gets distributed to multiple lenders. And for those of you that have bad credit or you just don't have enough for a down payment, the lease purchase program is an option, but you have to watch my next video over here that talks about all the red flags that you need to watch out for before you sign on to any lease purchase program. And this goes both for my Canadian friends and my American friends. So yes, inspections are coming and they're coming hard. And this will impact the entire trucking industry in Canada. But here's the real takeaway. Protect yourself now and make your move before it is too late and they're gonna back charge you for all the years that you've been doing it illegally. Now, if you wanna learn more about trucking, the breakdowns, the freight math, the audits, the contracts, the real industry survival moves like this, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm Ronan and I'll catch you in my next video.